Hyperon alpha release. It's finally out. Yes, we'll look at that today. And we will look at the ASI Alliance. We still don't have a date for the token merger yet. And the roadmap will be slightly delayed because of the complexity of it all. We look at it also at Bitcoin, which is dumping, just as I said a few weeks ago, and at a couple of other things. But hey there, everyone. Shout out to all of you at this beautiful sunny day, at least over here in Germany. Hi there, Nani. I've already seen you in the chat. Great to see you here. And yeah, let's get started with this. So let's get over here and share that screen right to, well, to where? To here, I believe. Yes, there we go. And let me put myself down here and let's look at that. So first of all, Artificial Superintelligence Alliance update. All teams are hard at work finalizing the details of the ASI token launch and the migration process. Discussions are focused on technical specifications and alignment across the short, medium, and long-term goals of the ASI Alliance. To accommodate this work, the technical roadmap release will be slightly delayed. We expect to publish a comprehensive outline of what will come next following the completion of the merger. We can't wait to show you our plans poised to excite the whole industry. And we cannot wait either. I can tell you, we cannot wait either until we finally see more. But yeah, I mean, this is not that much of a big deal. It's actually very expected. The roadmap should have been released, I believe, yesterday on the 30th of April. We have a not very worked out version of a roadmap with not very detailed dates, but just with roughly, yes, in May we want to do this, and in June we want to do this, and then from August all of this happens, right? So we have some kind of this rough roadmap, but yeah, the real detailed roadmap is now slightly delayed. And we also don't have an announcement for the merger date yet, as we can see right over here at the official website of the ASI Alliance. We are going to aim for the first week of May. But given the complexities in coordination with the exchanges and assessing the further impacts, we will communicate a fixed date in the future. We encourage users to join the new ASI Telegram, Discord, Reddit, and Twitter groups for the latest updates on this, which I highly recommend as well if you want to stay in the loop. Or you just follow what I put out, because I'll try to keep you as updated as possible, as always. So I would guess that the merger probably will not happen in the first week of May, right? We have the first week of May right now. So, and the first week of May starts and it's already half over. So if we are nice, we look at the next week. So that would be, what would that be? That would be from the 6th till the 12th. Will the merger happen? Will we finally be able to buy the ASI token to migrate from the 6th to the 12th? I have no idea, but I don't think that's very likely. We'll see what happens, right? We'll see, but I don't think, well, I think it will happen sometime in May, but probably further till the end of May, right? The complexities are they need to communicate with all the exchanges. They need to make sure, yes, the exchanges know the merger contracts. Yes, the exchanges will swap the tokens and everything that goes smoothly. Now, I don't know on how many exchanges you can buy Fetch, AGIX, and Ocean, but my guess would be a lot, right? A lot. So yeah, there's no surprises there. Always expect delays. Like with this kind of roadmaps and announcements and everything that's going on, always expect delays. This is nothing that we don't, or where we say, oh God, a delay, I didn't see that coming. No, we always expect delays. So all good. All right. So we'll see the roadmap and the merger in the next couple of weeks, I would expect, and then we'll go further into that. Now, another cool thing, well, kinda cool thing about the ASI Alliance is that we got more coverage. Now, probably some of you know him, maybe some of you don't, but yeah, I'm talking about the big boy crypto, or Ben Armstrong. And you can think about him what you want, but he definitely has exposure to people. And he put out a video about the ASI Alliance. Let's just play just a little bit of it.
Number one AI scientist in the entire world. He built the AI behind Sophia the robot, and he's the brains behind SingularityNet and its token AGIX. Here's a tip. When he talks, shut your mouth and
all right, and we got whatever ad or something, but we don't need to look at any more of that. The good thing is we got more coverage. I mean, every influencer, every public person, every person who generates some kind of interest, buzz, or has some kind of audience talking about the ASI Alliance is a good thing. Let me get rid of this. It's a good thing, right? We want more people to know about what's going to happen, what's coming our way, about this freaking amazing opportunity and possibility for humanity of building beneficial AGI for all of us. So that's fantastic. Now, actually, let me get YouTube again here. Of course, Ben Armstrong is a crypto influencer. So him talking about an ASI token is, well, it's cool, it's good, it's better than no one. But ideally, what we want to see is we want to see this guy over here. Where is he? This guy over here. We want to see this guy over here talk about the ASI Alliance, right? We want to see big tech influencers and tech news YouTubers talking about ASI merger, right? 548,000 subscribers. And by the way, if you don't have a proper place to get your info about LLMs, about AI updates, subscribe to Matt Wolf. Matt Wolf has the best AI news in the industry, I believe. And when he, at one point, will talk about the ASI Alliance and updates over there, we know, yes, now it's really going to happen. Right? We don't have a working product yet, really a working product yet that has like widespread adoption or is very interesting in public eyes. So we haven't seen anything yet. But once we see big YouTubers like this talking about the ASI Alliance, this is what we want, and this is what we wait for, and what we'll probably see once Hyperon is actually usable. But yes, better to get it right and then roll it out than rush and mess it up. Yes, exactly. Better to get it right. That's also why I'm a fan of Cardano, right? But yeah, better to get it right and don't rush it, especially with something huge and amazing like that. Good. And this brings me to the news of today, to the huge news of today, which is, yes, the alpha is out. Hyperon is about to have its alpha release, which happened yesterday. And in appreciation of Ben Goertzel, I will wear a hat today, right? For the Hyperon alpha release. Let's wear a hat as long as we talk about Hyperon in appreciation of Ben Goertzel. And also, yes, what do you call these things? Yay! Okay, right here, alpha, you. I don't know what to call these things in English. Maybe you can drop the name in the chat. And the alpha is out. Yes, the alpha release. Finally, and a few more of these. Let me know the name of these in the chat. All right, good. Now that we have been silly for a while, let's talk alpha. All right, let's read through this here. By the time of the beta release, which hopefully is less than a year from now, it should be capable of efficient, massive scale computing running on decentralized compute data infrastructure like SingularityNet, NewNet, and Hypercycle. And again, I am very excited and happy about the alpha release, which finally happened now. Now, if we look at the alpha release, it's this year, and we also looked at this last week. It's mainly for developers, AI researchers, people like that, okay? So it's not necessarily usable for the normal everyday user like you and me. But this is still a huge, amazing, big step. So let's look into that. What we have is this meta language sum up and tutorial, basically. So down here, we have a few points about meta. Something that I found very noticeable are, for example, here, programs are fully self-reflective. We can read and modify the code inside the programs. And this is an amazing thing about the meta language. The meta language basically allows the AI system to learn by itself, right? Self-reflective. And then down here, it enables a wide range of AI systems to dynamically collaborate, which is really the heart and core, or maybe I should say brain, of Hyperon. It allows multiple AGI approaches to collaborate with one another, which is freaking amazing. Now, other things you can do here is you can go here to GitHub and get everything that I've put out here. You can go to Learn. And here we have a basic tutorial for Meta. And if you're interested in learning Meta, you can go through that. If you're a developer, definitely go through that. And then we have the playground over here, where you can put your own meta code and then you can run it, right? There's no code, so there's nothing here. But yeah, in this playground, you can test your own meta code, which is freaking amazing because it opens up Hyperon, meta, and everything. I want to learn this language. Amazing, Nani. If you want to learn this language, run over to the playground and dive into it. Are you a developer? Nani, if you're a developer, that would be amazing. We'll get into that in just a moment. But yeah, if you want to learn Meta, head over to meta.lang.dev and yeah, look into the tutorial. All right. And yesterday they announced the alpha release on their YouTube channel and made a live about the alpha release. And I've seen a few of you over there. Let's listen to what Ben Gertel said over here, because this I found particularly interesting. And again, I hope you can hear the sound.
What's a clearer path now, what it seems very clear that we know how to do, is scale up Hyperon so we can do large-scale versions of all the promising classical AI approaches in modernized versions, have them operate together and run those on massive amounts of hardware, combining centralized server farms and decentralized AI networks. And this is like a practical thing that we're in the middle of doing right now. So I mean,
all right. First of all, how amazing is that? He just explained what we just saw on the playground, playground, and on the tutorial example, where it says Meta is there to combine multiple AGI approaches together. And then he also just said that they are in the middle of implementing or acquiring centralized and decentralized compute. And this is also what I've talked about last week and maybe even the week before, that we are really right now seeing mass acquisition of compute, right, of network space and power. This is what the released unbound AGIX tokens will be used for, I'm pretty sure. And this is what the Unity collaboration will be for. Big institutional money will go all into compute, which he basically kind of confirmed. Of course, he didn't say, yes, the Unity money will go in there and all of that, but he just said, yes, we are in the middle of acquiring centralized and decentralized compute, because this is what it's all about, scalability. And a few of you have been there yesterday in the stream. And Nani, I know you've been there, and a few others of you as well. And this one guy talked about the Moore's law. Moore's law? Do you call it like this? The Moore's law and the Moore's law, and about how transistors. What do you say in English? Anyway, transistors, I believe, on GPUs and CPUs will get smaller and smaller, and it will get faster and faster and more efficient. And that compute will get cheaper and cheaper and smaller and smaller. Yes, this is true to some degree. Of course, we have seen this happening so far. But first of all, Microsoft and OpenAI are not out of the blue planning a $100 billion server farm for 2028, right? This has been worked on and planned for 2028, a $100 billion server farm if they wouldn't need compute and if they wouldn't think that compute will be needed in the future. And when it comes to Moore's law, also let's look at this here real quick. As it says over here, some believe that the physical limits of Moore's law should be reached at some point in the 2020s. If you keep shrinking components, you can put more in 1 inch square chip. The more you put in that square inch, the hotter it gets and the harder it is to cool it. Moore himself admitted that the fact that materials are made of atoms is the fundamental limitation, and it's not that far away. We are pushing up against some fairly fundamental limits, so one of these days we are going to have to stop making smaller things. Yes, we cannot keep making smaller things because at one point we will reach a physical limit. We need to cool it more and more, and the thing that could, or quote unquote, the saving grace here could be quantum computing, but with quantum computing, we have the exact same issue, if we would say it like that, the cooling. Especially when it comes to quantum computing, it needs to be cooled like crazy. We can understand that by thinking about what temperature is. Temperature is basically just the movement of particles. This is basically, temperature describes the movement of particles. If particles move very, very fast, the temperature is higher. If particles move very, very slow, the temperature is cooler, right? This is temperature. For quantum computing, we need particles to barely move at all. So we need to cool quantum computing to almost zero, right? Zero, absolute zero would be no movement at all. This is, of course, and nothing does happen. So we need some form of movement. But yeah, this is what we need for quantum computing and this form of cooling. If we use that for smaller chips, then we might as well use it for quantum computing, right? So yeah, this might be our saving grace when it comes to compute, but it's not likely to happen in a mass scale anytime soon. So yeah, we will need compute in the future. There's no way around that. And people who argue with Moore's law can talk as much as I want. We'll wait and we'll see. But I also strongly believe, yeah, there are physical limitations at one point. At one point, you cannot get smaller. It's just not possible at one point. So then, yeah, we need other solutions and we need this massive server farms. And this is also where NuNet is coming in. And if you have been here last week where I talked about a cache network, which is basically Airbnb for compute, this NuNet is basically the same as a cache network, just a little bit more, I don't want to say sophisticated because it's not as far developed as a cache network yet, but in its whole approach and in what it's aiming to do, it is more sophisticated than a cache network. And I just want to talk about NuNet, and you can also read here, NuNet's decentralized computing network taps into global GPU and computing power, revolutionizing how we utilize and reward computational resources, which is basically what NuNet is doing, right? I wanted to mention this because NuNet is really posting a lot on X right now. NuNet is posting a lot on X. They really ramp up their posting on X. So I believe what we are seeing here is a foreshadowing of what is about to come. We have the Hyperon Alpha, which is released now. Programmers, AI developers can dive into it and start playing with it, can start testing it, can start putting out their own programs. Ben Goertzel himself just said, we are in the middle of acquiring centralized and decentralized compute. Right? This is also what the AGIX token releases for, to buy space and server farms. Bitcoin halving has just been, it's just over. So server farms are getting quote unquote free because miners need to stop mining Bitcoins because the rewards have been cut in half and it's not feasible for them anymore. They don't get as much out anymore, so they need to stop. But this could be a great opportunity to buy their compute or rent their compute, for example, for Hyperon and decentralized AGI. And aside from that, we see more and more posts from NewNet being posted, which means, yes, they're ramping up. The compute is really ramping up right now. And I believe we have a very, very amazing next few months ahead of us once Hyperon Alpha gets more and more sophisticated. They also said, yes, this is also a rolling release, right? The alpha, they will put out more and more stuff over time. They also announced they will put out certain demos in August for a conference. Maybe the demos will then also be available online. All right, good. Enough about Hyperon, and just for the one reason, because I want to put off this hat now, because it's getting a little bit hot. All right, good. The Ben Goertzel appreciation hat gets off now. We stop talking about Hyperon for a moment, and let me look into the chat. Streamers. I don't know what this comment means. Can FC Bayern win at Real Madrid? I don't know. I just care about the Zweite Bundesliga and if Kaiserslautern can stay in it. And of course about the German trophy, about the DFB Pokal, and if Kaiserslautern can win that. All right. There is mysterious model GPT-2. Yes, we will talk about that as well in just a moment here. We'll talk about that as well. But first of all, let us go to where is it? Where actually is it? Oh, it's here. To deep funding. Let's talk about deep funding. And I just want to breach upon that. Let's actually reload that here because we have 18 more days and 19 hours to submit proposals for deep funding round 4. Join us in building a network of decentralized and beneficial AI services. Get funded through deep funding to develop your AI service and publish it on Singularity Net platform. Keep ownership of your model, monetize your intellectual property, and contribute to building a global ecosystem of decentralized AI. And if you are a developer, this should be very, very interesting for you. And you should participate, right? As the community of the ASI Alliance, this is exactly what our part is, participating in exactly this. I am not a developer. If you are a developer and you don't have a proposal, you don't know what to do, reach out to me. Reach out to me, because I am not a developer, but I definitely would have an idea for something that I would love to put into action. I cannot, because I'm not a developer. I never have coded anything. That's actually not true. I actually had one semester of coding, but yeah, I don't know anything about that anymore. So I cannot code. I'm not an AI developer. If you are though, and you don't know, right here, you don't know anything what you could propose here, reach out to me. Let's team up. I have a few ideas for that. Good. Yeah, but deep funding. You also, by the way, also if you're in the community, head over here and vote. Vote for the proposals that are, well, proposed, I guess. All right. Good. Next thing I want to look at is the Rejuve project. And the Rejuve project, of course, is part of the Singularity Net ecosystem. And one thing, because the Rejuve project gets really pushed at the moment as well. If you've been on the stream yesterday, you had seen Ben Goertzel had a meeting with members from the Rejuve project, shows them around, stuff like that. And the Rejuve project really starts to pick up pace. And I believe this is because obviously it's longevity, but the whole Rejuve project, longevity research, helping humans being there, to extend humans' lifespans, is very important for AGI, for the Hyperon model, because it steers it into the right direction. And this is something that Ben Goertzel also talked about a lot. How can we make sure that AGI that develops is aligned with us? Well, one thing would be to implement and use it for good things, to use it for things that are good for humanity, like the Rejuve project. So this is why I believe the Rejuve project also gets pushed a lot. When will the ASI coin mint? As I said in the beginning of the stream, and in every stream and every video and all the time, over and over again, we don't have a date yet. We don't have a date yet for the ASI token. I will let you know as soon as we know the date. I will let you know for sure. We look at somewhere in May, but we don't know exactly when yet. All right, let's go here. Physics, the science at the root of longevity. Yes, it may be physics. Let's look through that. And shoot, I just noticed that by reloading, I lost all of my markings in there. So no worries, then we'll just talk about it. So what they talk about in this project, basically, this here is what we want to see. Professor Hayflick, which is one of the most influential biologists of the last 100 years, disproved a previous belief that normal living cells are immortal. He demonstrated that non-cancerous cells possess a limited capacity for division, a phenomenon known as the Hayflick limit. Aging is a problem in physics and not in biology. Why is it a problem in physics? Because we assume the problem is entropy. Now, entropy is a physical property of every closed system to become more and more chaotic, right? There's always push for any system to become, any closed system become more and more chaotic over time. Systems are not self-ordering, they become more and more chaotic. That's why entropy likely is a huge factor in aging of humans, because cells are closed systems and become more and more chaotic. Now, the human body by itself is not a closed system, which article also talks about. When we talk about entropy here, where is it? Every system moves toward maximum disorder. Now, in humans, we have, for example, here, highly reactive atoms can harm DNA and mess up structure and function of different cellular components. The energy stored in chemical bonds, crucial for maintaining structure and function, gradually dissipates, succumbing to the second law of thermodynamics. So this is a huge thing, that over time, just cellular components and the bonds gets weaker or reshift in different ways. This is kind of hard to explain if you don't know the chemistry behind it. So hydrogen bonds are a big part of what holds proteins together. And if they get dysregulated, cells get more and more damaged over time. I hope that's basic enough for everybody here to understand that. And another thing are free radicals. Again, I can't find it right now, but the article also talks about free radicals, which are basically highly reactive molecules that react with cells and make them, damage them over time more and more. Good. The article mentions gravity briefly. I think that's bullshit, what the article says there, because if we look at time, and we get a bit technical because I love to nerd out about this stuff, so bear with me. If we talk about time, time is relative, as most of us hopefully know here. And the more gravitational pull you experience, the slower time moves for you. And the article talks about that as one possible future opportunity of longevity, but this is kind of BS because it's relative. It's relative. Let's say you fly at almost light speed, time would move for you very, very slow. So yes, relatively to the Earth, you would have slowed down your aging. But that doesn't do you any good, because if you come back to Earth, everyone you knew and everything you knew has moved much, much faster through time. So it aged much, much more than you aged. So yes, relatively to everything on Earth, you have slowed down your aging. But your relative aging did not slow down. You still aged at the same speed, just relative to everything on Earth, you have slowed down your aging. So I think that's kind of BS what the article is talking about here, or maybe I just don't fully get what they're insinuating. But I think that's a little bit BS what they are saying here. It makes no practical sense whatsoever. Now the next thing they're talking about is quantum biology, which is interesting. Because when it comes to mutations, here, consider DNA mutations, a hallmark of aging. One way mutations occur is through the swapping of hydrogen atoms, which hold DNA strands together through bonds. If this swapping happens during DNA replication and the hydrogen atoms end up in the wrong positions, mutations arise. And one explanation for that could be quantum tunneling. And quantum tunneling is basically, so when we have an energy field or an energy, let's just say energy field, then a particle can just pass through this energy field if it has a higher energy, right? It can just pass through if it has a higher energy, mainly speaking. Now, quantum tunneling allows particles to pass through these fields without them having a higher energy. Yes, so this is basically quantum tunneling. We don't need to go in depth why that happens. There are a few explanations, right? The particle wave dualism, for example, and the Unschärfe relation from Heisenberg. So but let's get into that. The important thing here is that mutations happen. Okay, so we don't need to talk about much more things, but these are things that I found quite interesting in this longevity article. And when we talk about the Rejuve project, this is the kind of research they're doing. One more thing though, they talked about cold exposure, which I just remembered, and time restrictive eating. Time restrictive eating is also something that, what's his name? What's the name of the Harvard guy who does the longevity research? He has this longevity podcast. What is his name? I need to find out. And, anyway, he has this longevity podcast, and he talks about how time. Dr. David Sinclair, there we have it. Dr. David Sinclair. He has this longevity podcast where he talks about how time-restricted eating, how eating less is one of the biggest factors they can observe when it comes to slowing down or even reversing the aging. So yes, the Rejuve project is really talking about a lot of great things here. And I believe this could be one of the first things that is implemented into Hyperon, which is where we have our, full circle here, back to AI and back to Hyperon. The Rejuve project and Rejuve project's applications could be one of the first things implemented into Hyperon. And I believe this is very deliberate to give Hyperon a direction aligned with human goals. Because again, how can we make sure that AI is not malicious and kills us all? By making sure it's aligned with human goals and it pursues positive things, like the longevity research right here. So I keep an eye on that, and I'll probably make a deeper video about that at one point in the future. All right. Good. Are you interested in this kind of stuff? Are you interested in the longevity research? Let me know in the comments. So we are going to skip AGI and go straight to ASI without any safeguards for ignorance. No, we won't. What makes you say that? One thing that we need to think about, Andrew Campbell, one thing that we definitely need to think about is that once we develop human level AGI, and I don't know how you come to the thought that we skip that, because it's not possible to skip that. By the definition of AGI, it's not possible to skip AGI in the development of AGI. Per definition, that's not even possible. But one thing we always need to think about is that when we develop AGI, human level AGI, it is inevitable. It is inevitable that we will be smarter at us at one point. Of course, we want to have safeguards in place. And again, this is what I just talked about with the Rejuve project, which is why SingularityNet, why the ASI Alliance makes sure that the first things Hyperon and their AGI project learns are positive and beneficial, like the Rejuve project. So this is the fundamental core thing that is ingrained in Hyperon and the AGI development. This is the best safeguard that we have, because we can put other safeguards into place and other things, but it is inevitable that at one point AGI will be smarter than us humans. And once this is reached, we can have every freaking safeguard in place that we want. It will find a way to circumvent that, right? We cannot stop that from happening. I don't know when this is going to happen, not tomorrow, not the next year, maybe not in the next 10 years, maybe not in the next 50 years. but at one point it will happen. And we cannot do a damn thing about that. It will find a way to go around all the safeguards that we have in place. And this is also how we reach ASI. We reach ASI by developing a human-level AGI that can work on itself. And it can work on itself better than humans could work on it. And like this, it develops itself into ASI. This is our path to ASI. And we want to make sure that right from the get-go, it learns beneficial things and aligns things with human values, ethics, and morals. Which again is why I believe the Regrowth project gets pushed so much. All right, I hope I answered your comments there. Any more thoughts? Please share them with me and let's talk about it. Good. Other thing that I wanted to mention is this right here, because this is another AI blockchain project. The Twin Protocol, and maybe you've heard about the Twin Protocol already. So ultimately, the company's decentralized platform is focused on building personal secure AI twins, data sets that individuals own on the blockchain. The initial platform will evolve into multiple modalities, including chatbots, holograms, robots, even avatars, made fully secure by the company's blockchain technology. The vision of the Twin Protocol platform is to revolutionize how thought leaders, brands, celebrities, and others communicate and securely share knowledge with customers, fans, and individuals. People around the globe seeking information and expert insights any time of day or night can interact with meticulously trained AI twins on ultra-relatable one-to-one natural language basis. And this is pretty cool because, what this basically is, and you can go there as well and you can work in your own twin. And then you can go there and you talk with, let's say, Ben Goertzel. And Ben Goertzel has put in his own twin. You feed the twin basically with everything that you put out online, and the twin, that's why it's called a twin, will basically be an online projection of Ben Goertzel, and then you can go there and you can talk with Ben Goertzel about, hey, Ben Goertzel, tell me, why did you abandon OpenCog Classic and build OpenCog Hyperon from scratch? And ask him things like that, and don't have to do this in the live stream. So I think this is pretty awesome. And if we go further down here, we can see Twin Protocol is a strategic partner with SingularityNet, right? Amazing. Now, one thing though is when we go to, where is it? Here, can we go here? Oh, how annoying. I always need to share a new tab when we go there. All right. When we go to their website, here we go. And this is the one thing that annoys me a little bit about it. When we go to the website here, Twin Protocol, you can click on join the waitlist. But you can also here click on play. The one issue I have with that is...
Hello, I'm the twin of Stacy Engel, the CEO of Twin Protocol. Here are some questions I get asked frequently. Why should I have a twin? You deserve a safe and secure place to grow your digital presence and utilize AI. In the past, you couldn't be in multiple places at once.
Well, one thing that really annoys me is, now she talks, but when we just, for example, click here and want to actually ask her our own questions, we need to sign in. Of course, we can sign in. That's great. That's all good. But one thing, and this is one thing that I really love about ChatGPT recently, you don't need to sign in anymore. You can just go to the ChatGPT website and chat with it, and I love that. And I would love for Twin Protocol to make this available for people who are not signed in as well. I mean, it's not that hard of a big deal, but it would be cool if we wouldn't need to do that. Anyway, if you're interested in playing with it, head over to Twin Protocol website and play with it. All right. Thank you. You're most welcome. Most welcome. Let me know if you have any questions about that. Are you waiting for UBI? Yes, I mean, the question is if UBI, if this will actually happen. with our current government and how it looks like. Now, UBI is universal, what is it? Universal income, universal base income, something like that. And this is what we need. Once we have AGI being better at jobs than humans are, robotics picking up pace, and this is the utopic future and not the dystopic future, right? And we are hoping for a utopia, which is why we support the ASI Alliance. Because the ASI Alliance is what will get us to the utopia, to AGI being aligned with us, making jobs for us, taking jobs from us in a good way, so that we don't have to do jobs anymore. Because who the hell does want to do jobs, right? We all want to do the things that we want to do. Some of us are very lucky and can do the things that we want to do. But yeah, we want to do the things that we want to do. We just do jobs. Why? Because of money. So when we have AI and robotics picking up pace, maybe in the next decade, who knows? Maybe in the next 2 decades, who knows? But at one point it will happen. The utopia is universal basic or base income, fairly distributed between all humans. Fair distribution. And the way governments are looking these days, it looks like this will not be fair at all. So we need a decentralized system behind all of that. So we can make sure it's fair distributed. Because if it's not, we will have a dystopia where you have your universal basic income and it's enough for you to live, and that's it. You live like, I am from Germany, so I know how this looks like in the past. If you know the DDR, right, where we lived in Plattenbauten and this kind of stuff. You have your very small, tiny room where you can live in, and you have the universal basic income, which is enough for you to buy food, and the high society will live their best lives. Of course, this is not what we want to see, but this is what could happen if corrupt governments do what they are about to be doing, or what it maybe looks like some of them are about to be doing. So yeah, if we have it in a utopian way, of course it will be fairly distributed in a way that we have enough to just follow our passions, quote unquote, and live lives the way we want it and do what we want to do. So yeah. But of course, for that, AI and robotics need to be at a place where they actually can do human jobs and actually, quote unquote, replace human jobs. Because again, money has to come from something. If money doesn't come from something, quote unquote, money, for example, generated by AI, it will run out and we will have nothing anymore. How high do you think fat can grow? Now, let me ask my crystal ball here. My crystal ball tells me I have no idea. I have no idea how fat can grow. Sorry. I have no idea. Obviously, fat will be the ASI token. So this will be 1-to-1. So when we talk about fat here, let's talk about the ASI token, because this is what fat will be. I don't know. No. Yes, I mean, I have no idea. My crystal ball is broken at the moment, so I have no idea how high the ASI token can go. But if we look at it, and actually let's do that. Let's head over to CoinGecko and let's give you all the lesson of how can we estimate how high this could go. Now, if we look at CoinGecko over here, and let's make this dark, let's go to fetch, because the fetch token again will be the ASI token. This will be 1-to-1. Right? Fetch right now has a price of, let's just say, $2 and a market cap of 2 billion. If it has a price of $2 and a market cap of 2 billion, that means for Fetch AI to double in price to get a price of $4, it would need a market cap of 4 billion. For Fetch AI to 10x, so to go to $20, it would need a market cap of 20 billion. For Fetch AI to go to $200 and do a 100x, it would need a market cap of 200 billion. So 200 billion US dollars need to be put into the Fed or into the ASI token. Now, if we go to the CoinGecko list here, let's look at our highest market caps. We see we have here Ethereum with 350 billion. Of course, Bitcoin is its own league, and Ethereum really it is its own league as well. Now, we need to think about that right now. We are not in a bull run. We are not in a bull run. The bull run, we are right before the halving. We will look at the Bitcoin price in just a moment as well. But if we go over here, if I can find it, where is it? Oh, here it is. All right, if I can find it. If we look at the last bull run, in the last bull run, we have here the CoinMarketCap snapshot website. By the way, I have a video on my channel where I go through all of this. I would highly recommend you look at that so you learn how to do this for yourself. As the peak of the last bull run was right around the 14th of November in 2021, I believe. So let's go there on the market cap, the CoinMarketCap snapshots, and look at the market cap. There we had a market cap of Ethereum of 547 billion. So let's look at the top 10. Do I believe the ASI coin? Of course, not financial advice. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm talking out of my own ignorance. But do I believe the ASI token can get into the top 10? Yes, I would believe so. Because this AI narrative is going crazy, will continue to go crazy, and the ASI Alliance is basically the project when it comes to AI on the blockchain. Now, top 10, let's just take Cardano here. Cardano had a market cap of 67 billion. Let's take a little bit more because we have a lot of institutional money getting. No, definitely not. Cardano is not that at all, and I have no idea what you are saying there, right? If you think Cardano is that, I don't know how to help you, right? Cardano has the best tech behind it in all of crypto. But yeah, let's take Cardano here. Last bull run had a market cap of 67 billion. When we take this bull run, we need to estimate a little bit higher, or we can estimate a little bit higher because crypto has got more adopted. Institutional money is flowing into crypto, and we can assume that the overall crypto market cap will be higher than this bull run. So if everything goes right, we have an amazing bull run. The crypto narrative goes crazy. I believe we could maybe go to a market cap of, let's say, 100 billion. Again, not financial wise. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I could be completely wrong. We could all go to zero tomorrow. But if we look at CoinMarketCap again, this would mean, where am I here? I wanted to go here. I wanted to go to Fetch again. This would mean, what did I just say? With a market cap of 100 billion, that would basically be a 50x from here. So we would go from 2 to, yeah, $50 to about $50. Now this is bull best case scenario. Okay, bull best case scenario, just that I just made up out of what I just showed you. If you want to dive deeper into that, let me actually show you that as well. If you want to do your own research and look at a few more things that would be good to look at, you can head over to my channel here, and I made a video where I go through how you can do this analysis for yourself and even deeper kind of analysis. You want to go here, this AGIX Patch Pal Can AI Crypto Make You Rich video. In there, I talk about exactly how you can do this kind of research and what you should think about when estimating how high a crypto project can go. All right. Now let us look into. Oh, by the way, 14 people here right now watching. I highly appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for being here, for spending your time with me, for listening to my sick German accent and my silly dumb jokes. I appreciate you being here. It would be amazing, it would be freaking amazing if you could hit the like button. Because if you hit the like button, more people will watch this video because the algorithm will push a video more, which pushes the ASI adoption. So yeah, there's the reason for you to push the like button. Good. Let's go into Bitcoin here, and let's look at what we have looked about. Now we finally got into this big fair value gap, which I've been talking about since the very first live stream I made. I was waiting for us to finally dip in here. This now also confirmed our swing high right here. But first of all, let's look at the halving time. This blue line marks the halving time. And let's drop to the weekly here. And here we have the halving. Now, what we have seen so far is roughly from the top before the halving, we have seen a drop of about 23%. And we talked about this quite a couple of times. Here's the last halving, okay? Here's the last halving. And from the top right before the halving, we could take this one. We dropped about 70%. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? Now, given we didn't have a huge drop right about around the halving, but let's take this top here, and for argument's sake, let's just go here. We dropped about 16%. The real deep drop was right around here, 63%. Okay, keep that in mind when we go to the halving before that. What did we see there? Right, huge run up before the halving, and then to the low we dropped to 40%. We dropped 40%. So we can go another one back, but yeah, this here's the first one. This doesn't make a whole lot of sense to look at that because back then crypto was really a different kind of animal. So yeah, I would not really consider that. But if we want to consider that, we can also look from top to high. We still dropped 30%. Okay. So what does that tell us? That tells us to not freak out. Whoops. To not freak out. It's normal what we are seeing right now. It's not just normal, it's to be expected. We have a run up before the halving, then we have a drop before the real bull run starts, as you can see here. You see this here is a run up before the halving. This down here, this teeny tiny thing is a run up before the halving, and then here we have the bull run. Okay? And right here we have the run up before the halving is kind of this. We can take this from whatever. We can take this as a run up before the halving. We have another run up before the halving. This is this teeny tiny thing down here, and then here we have the bull run. Okay, and right now people, other crypto streamers, are starting to compare this halving run up with the last bull run, but this is wrong. What you actually should compare this halving run up with is this halving run up or this halving run up, right? Because this is not the bull run yet. I mean, it is the bull run. The bull run basically started down here, right? I mean, in the monthly, we have never been in the bear market, but yeah, basically the bull run, let's say, really started up here, right? Even though we hit all-time highs, I know, I get it, it's crazy, but institutional money, the real bull run did not start yet. Of course, not financial advice. I'm just talking out of my own ignorance. But if we look at that, I mean, look at that. The halving here, how teeny tiny is this halving compared to the actual bull run? Also here, of course, it got bigger as it always does, but it's still tiny compared to the actual bull run. And this will also be the case this time, I believe, right? This is just my belief. This is not the truth. This is just my opinion. So don't get hung up on this, but this, I believe, this will also be the case this time. This will look tiny to the actual bull run. Now it will look bigger than this in comparison to that, just as this looks bigger than this in comparison to that. But it will still be tiny compared to the actual bull run, which might go, yeah, maybe has a chance to go up here, like 150K, something like this. Okay, so we just have the run up before the halving. And what did we just say? We said drop of 60%, drop of 40% from the high before the halving run up, which we see here, drop, what do you know, 33%. Now, when we look at the fair value gap that I've been talking about this gap for weeks now, that will go down there and take this, or at least that I believe this. Of course, nothing is guaranteed, but yeah, I've been talking for quite a while that will likely go down here. This would be, what do you know, 33%. If we go all the way down here to the freaking low, to the weekly swing low, we would have a 47% pullback. Now, I would be kind of worried if we take this weekly swing low, but not that much. I would be really, really highly worried, and we can call the bull run off and everything is over if we take this down here. If we take this monthly swing low down here, yes, then I would be worried and I would call the bull run off probably. But right now, like, this is nothing. If we drop through this whole monthly fair value gap, I don't give a flying F, you know. This is just a good place to accumulate whatever you want to accumulate, or a good place to get into trades. So yeah, this is not unexpected, and we could see a few months now of nothing. As you see here, after the halving, you basically saw 1, 2, 3, 4 months, and then it run up. And here, after the halving, you need to scroll in quite a bit. You basically saw 1, 2, 3, 4 months. Well, how about that? And yes, I would consider this here definitely a run up. We can see how high was it. I mean, we can take this, why not? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 freaking months for the run up. And here we had 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, maybe 3. If we consider this here chop as well, we could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 months before the really big run-up started, okay? So yeah, this is why I and people who study the cycles believe that the real bull run will start, or the bull run next year, and the bull run will end in November next year, likely, if we follow the cycles like we have always been following the cycles. But yeah, this would take us to, we have the halving here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's give it a good 6 months, October. In October, we maybe see the huge run up to start. And you know what else could happen here? You know what else could happen here on the monthly time frame? We could see a giant cup and handle forming on the monthly time frame, right? But just for a few TA guys of you out there, this is something that we could see. Now, again, why we look at Bitcoin? We always want to look at Bitcoin because everything follows Bitcoin. The whole crypto market follows Bitcoin. There's no way around it. I fully believe we can see a decoupling when Hyperon really bangs, but we have not seen a Hyperon yet, a real Hyperon yet. So yeah, we need to wait for that. Okay. Now, if we look at the 4 hours, this is fetch. So this is basically the ASI token, okay? This is basically, for all intents and purposes, the ASI token. It is the fetch coin, which will turn into the ASI token. Let me get rid of all of this stuff here. Actually, let me drop into a daily. Okay. Now, yeah, as you can see, it's going down. Why? Because crypto and because Bitcoin is still going down. Fetch ASI can be freaking bullish, right? As we see here, April. What happened in April? Oh yeah, announcements about the ASI Alliance. It jumped up, but we will see. We'll see jumps. I fully believe that we have the possibility to see jumps when we have announcements, right? So the Hyperon Alpha did not do much because the Hyperon Alpha is just for AI scientists and researchers. But let's say we see chop, Bitcoin goes down, we go down, we see chop, and then we get an announcement. Yes, Hyperon Alpha, a Hyperon Beta put out with something we can use. But then chop. Oh yes, another big announcement. Chop. And yeah, this is what I probably believe, something like that. Yes, it will probably jump in announcements, but mainly it will jump when Bitcoin jumps. That is just how the markets work. All right, and now let me look at the chat again. Hype that like button, yes. Hyperon Alpha release. All right. Still, what do you call these things? I don't know. I don't have one of these explosion things anymore, unfortunately. But I can hang this over here. Let's do it like this. Yeah, Hyperon art release. Anyway, so let me look into the chat. Fat graph is similar to Bitcoin. Yes, it is, because it follows Bitcoin. Like almost every crypto project follows Bitcoin. If you look at the big ones like Solana or Ethereum, it almost basically looks like the Bitcoin chart. It's crazy. When you look at the total lengths, yes, everything in the crypto market follows Bitcoin. Doesn't matter what kind of announcements we have. Again, if you've seen the last videos that I put out, or one of the last videos about Hyperon I put out, if we get Hyperon, I fully believe we see a decoupling. If we get Hyperon Alpha, and when we have something usable that is better than ChatGPT, we can definitely fully see a decoupling over there. Yes. Good. And now the last thing I want to talk about today, as we reach the top of the hour, is what Nani already said. The GPT-2 chatbot. Mysterious GPT-2 chatbot AI model baffles experts, breakthrough or mere hype. And as we see here, AI experts expressing surprise and excitement that it matches and possibly exceeds the abilities of GPT-4. Yeah, I believe that's the only thing that I've marked down here because it's really the most interesting thing here. Now, what did we see? We saw a random model called GPT-2 chatbot put out on an open site, right, where you can share AI models. And it is, in some things, exceeds GPT-4, which is crazy, right? Just this random model that happens and gets put out, and you just see it being better than GPT-4. They also mentioned in the article that we maybe see more of that in the future. Some speculate that it is maybe GPT 4.5 put out by OpenAI. But yeah, we don't know. Unfortunately, we cannot test it anymore. We cannot test it anymore because it's offline by now. But yeah, it was put out, mysterious model. That's all I can tell you. It's interesting, right? It's interesting that we see these kind of models. Maybe I have no idea. I don't know why OpenAI should do that. Some people believe it is, some people believe it is not. Still interesting story, so I wanted to show that off. Right, and that's all I have for today. Okay. When you look at the total lengths, except Cardano, I don't know. You mean the I mean, you see the bull run up in every bull run, right, with every coin. Anyway, this is our announcement again. Yes, Hyperon Alpha. Yay, we have the Hyperon Alpha. And then, yeah, we don't have a clear roadmap yet. I will let you know once we have the clear roadmap of the ASI Alliance. And I will let you know once the merger actually happens. As I tell you all the time, no, there's no ASI token yet. There is no ASI token yet. The ASI All Signals token is not the AI token. Don't buy it. It's a cash grab. It's a scam. Or maybe not. I don't want to badmouth it. I have no idea about it. But what I can tell you is it's not the ASI token you want. Okay? So, yeah, be careful. And aside from that, we are all looking forward what is going to happen with Hyperon, what is going to happen with the ASI roadmap. And thank you all for spending your time here with me, for being here for an hour with me. I am looking forward to seeing you all of you next Wednesday. And yeah, this is it for today. I stay a couple of more minutes in case you have any questions. And with minutes, I basically meant how long it takes me to take this sip of water. All right, good. With that being said, all of you have a great rest of your day, and I see all of you in the next video and next Wednesday.